Boston Trucker with you. It's a beautiful, balmy 35 degrees out. It's going to be nice weather this week. We got lots of trucking to do. I've got 3 deliveries to start the morning with. Let's go. Cue the music. Boston Trucker here. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy it. So I'm looking on my Rand McNally how to get where I gotta go. It's not too far from here. It's only 4 miles. It's supposed to be along a railroad crossing, the commuter rail, back along the commuter rail. So that sounds a little sketchy. Yesterday I was at the Pilot truck stop, Sturbridge, Massachusetts, shooting some ads for Pilot Flying J. It's one of my sponsors. I spent a couple hours there shooting some footage early Sunday morning. I saw this hat. I was like, I gotta have it. Must be my man right here. Morning. How are you? Am I at the right place?
Yeah.
He's gonna move that truck. I'm gonna pull in there. And then I'm gonna back down along these tracks about 1,000 feet. And there's no trains coming. We hope. I've seen the videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
Hopefully we won't be part of one of those videos today. The guy said to me, I thought you were coming in a dump truck. I said, yeah, well, the dump truck's in the shop, so. If you're not sure, get out and look. Pretty close there. Trying to get around this little trailer here. Yeah, we can't make it. We're gonna have to go turn around somewhere and back in from the other direction. Yeah, plan B. We're gonna go get turned around and then back in coming from the other direction. I had that tank trailer dropped right where I can make the corner. I needed another foot. So I'm not gonna try and force my way in there. Now we're gonna run this back road here and see where it takes us, see if we can find a spot to turn around somewhere. Now we're coming up from the other direction. We'll see what happens. No matter what, it's going to be tight. Well, that was much easier to get down this road from this direction, for sure. Now we're going to back straight down, across the road. spare on this side. No interest. Yep, I'm watching. Right under the tree limbs here isn't too bad. That was the hard part, I think. Now we're just gonna back down all the way, about 1,000 feet, he said. People over there waiting for me. Keep your eyes out for the train that he says isn't coming. I'll keep backing up. When I come back, we'll come in that same direction. It's much easier. A bunch of little tree branches sticking out. I'm gonna be pretty close to my tanks. Scratch my fenders, tanks here. Jack it this way. No room to spare here. I got like an inch on each side. Now when people call for a dump truck, they mean dump truck, not tractor trailer. Gonna snap this tree branch though first. Down with load number 2. It's always the same thing in trucking. The first time you go someplace a little hairy, you gotta learn which way to go in, learn where all the trees are, all the wires are, and then when you come back again, it's not so bad. This job is definitely a bumper killer and a mud flap killer, and there's these little pine tree branches sticking out, so I'm being very careful to avoid those, not only for my trailer but my fuel tanks and my paint on my tractor. But we're getting it done. Just dump number 2 here. See how close it is on the embankment. That's a bumper killer right there. Now my first load was really close. Second load I knew to stay away from it. A little further out. I hear the train a-coming. Coming down the track. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. That's no train, that's just the Boston trucker. last load of the day. Dusty, very dusty today. It's a good day though. It's about 65 degrees. I'm gonna have to shed these long sleeves. It's gonna be that time of the year. Dump her out, head back empty. Moving the crusher. So you're gonna put that together. It's gonna be a beautiful day today. Sun's out. Gonna hit 70 today, yeah. Time to ride. Truck show today. Route 2. Route 2 and 95. If you come onto Route 2 and 95, it's gonna be a truck show there. Just stand on the corner. I'll be driving by like every 2 hours. The ways, I'll beep. Let's go. We're running second shift now. It's after 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock somewhere. Here, it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna grab the loader, give myself some gravel. Usually go back empty on the last run, but we need it. I don't even call and ask. We need the gravel. I'd love to go back empty though. Let's find some keys. Keys here. Keys. There it is. Komatsu.
Free iHeartRadio app and take us with you. Powered by D Law offices of Alton and Nussbaum, Boston.
Rick's moving around the end screen loom. Getting ready to screen tomorrow. You might call it topsoil where you're from. Wherever that may be. That's the old Hyundai loader. Thing's a beast. Not a long reach though. They load me with the Hyundai, they get a little close to my trailer. We're loaded up. Gonna head her on back. Should be back by 5:30, 5:45. Dump her out. Get fuel. Should have her parked around 6 o'clock. Take a peek at my load, make sure I loaded it nice and even. Not an operator. Just good enough to load a trailer, that's about it. This one's a little higher than most operators would load. It's good though, nothing in the nose. Let's look at my top. See that? That's a good load. Right in the middle. See that? Huh. Maybe I could be an operator. The Boston operator trucker. It's got a ring to it. Never. That'll never happen. And I have this grease that's been sitting here that came off one of the excavators. But while I'm up here, I want to use my finger. Scrape this off a little bit here. Look at that. The grease off the excavators. It hit the side of my tractor. All right, that's not working. If I had a rag on me, it'd be even better. That's why they make work shirts, folks. And that's the Mop and Glow shine right there. It's a clean look. It's not brilliant shine like on the showroom, but it's clean. It'll stay like that. Won't collect dust. And after I wash it, it'll go right back to the way it is now. And it's not free. I spend my own money on it. And no, I don't turn in receipts. Stuff like that. That's silly. But I could. My boss will pay for anything. It's not how I'm built. I'm built a little funny. And I love my mother's Instant Detailer. Free plug. It's good stuff. All right, let's pack this up and go home. 6 o'clock. Gonna do my pre-trip inspection this morning. And I'm going to shut off my hot water hoses because it's gonna be 87 degrees today. And in the 80s tomorrow, and back to the 50s. But I'm gonna make sure my air conditioner is ready to go today, because I got a feeling I'm gonna need it. So I got 2 shut-off valves. Where are they? One is right here. Oh yeah, this is the easy one right here. So shut that one off. That's the easy one. This is the one I gotta wait till the truck is cold or I'll burn myself. And it's a pretty awkward spot for it too. Sometimes I gotta get a tool. I think I'm gonna need a tool. Oh, there we go. Now they're off. Now we won't have any heat if it becomes cold all of a sudden, but it's 52 degrees. It's gonna start warming up in the next few hours. Check the oil, and we'll start the fires. How's your day going? I definitely need to do an engine cleaning in the next week. I don't always I haven't washed my truck like a wash. About a week. I don't always do the engine because I am in a hurry at the end of the day, but I try to do it a couple times a month. But it's probably been a month. So let's check the stick. We're right at the halfway point. Could use a little bit of oil. I'm gonna check the antifreeze and the power steering, and that'll be it. That is full. Mornings like this, it's about 55. It's just gonna get warmer, nice, like summer. filmed anything yesterday. I was annoyed by people, I think. I gotta get over that. If you're not on Facebook yet, stay off of it. You're doing the right thing. It can be really, social media is annoying. Most of it. You know, I get paid, believe it or not. I get paid by Shell Rotel, I get paid by Pilot and Flying J to make ads. Now, if you feel like those ads are where you're going to take a stand against travel centers versus truck stops, you got every right to do that. You got every right to do that. If that's the place you want to do it, on my ad, go for it. I'm not going to like you for it, though. I'm going to be annoyed by it. That's all. You know, I'm old school. I'm an old school truck stop guy. I'm not as old as some, and I'm older than some. And I remember the good old days of the truck stops, believe me. Believe me. Ranch Hand Saloon, Montpelier, Idaho. Still around, right? Barbie truck stops in Wisconsin. Briscoe Speed Travel Center, a truck stop, just a travel center. All the old truck stops, the Petros, the Pilots, the Flying J's, the TA truck stop, Truck Stops of America. But they're not truck stops anymore. There's a few old school ones left. Now they're all travel centers. Flying J Travel Center, Pilot Travel Center. Truck Stops of America is now Travel Centers of America. Petro is not Petro Truck Stop, it's Petro Stopping Center. I think it might have always been that. So we want it to be the way the old days were, where we felt like they were catering to truckers. And we kind of felt like we had our rights and our claim to these places. Like, I remember stopping at Bosselman's with my dad in Grand Island, Nebraska. Trucker section only. My dad loved nothing more than to escort a non-trucker out of the trucking section only. It was what he lived for it. He lived for it. So, but there was still another section for people who weren't truckers. So they've always catered to non-truckers. And that's just the way the times are. And I've stopped at Pilot and Flying J my entire career. Stopped at them all. I got a lot of great memories of Flying J. Breakfast at the Flying J. Used to get that scone with the honey butter. Oh my God. Now it's a Denny's. I love Denny's. The problem is nowadays, ever since COVID, a lot of these restaurants aren't open anymore, and you can't find anybody that wants to work around the clock. And it's just how it is, and it stinks, but they're still there. They're still supporting truckers, trying to make you as comfortable on the road as possible. Pilots have always been a good place to get something, grab and go. Park if you can find a place to park. Pilot and Flying J, this is not a commercial, they're putting like $3 billion into improvements over the next few years. Amenities, lighting out in the lot, more parking, more stuff for the drivers. So it is what it is, but don't hate me because I advertise for Pilot Flying J. I got a long history with them. I've been stopping there since I started driving coast to coast illegally when I was 18, so, and stopping there with my dad. It's not like I'm advertising automatics and saying you should get an automatic or an electric truck, because that would never happen. You couldn't pay me enough to do that. When I do that, that's where you take your stand. Not on my truck stop ad. Come on, Mac. I think we're loaded. No, we got one more bucket. Yeah, one more. I have have not washed. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Gotta wake up. Gotta wake up. I have not washed my truck in a week. I've been wiping it down every night and in the morning when I come in. Just thinking about truck stops. Travel centers now. There are no more truck stops. There's a few left that are hanging on, but sign of the times. I was thinking about the Flying J truck stops back in the day. You know what I always appreciated about the Flying J truck stops? Was the soundproof phone booths. The big wood door, you close the door and block out all the sounds. You'd have a nice private conversation. None of the other truck stops had those. Petro had like that little cubby, like an office cubby, right? With a couple partitions. I don't remember what the TAs had. I feel like they just had the phones on the wall. I mean, you know, back before cell phones, you stood in line to make a phone call, and you had that conversation in public. And you didn't really think, you didn't care. You know, some people kept their voices down, some people didn't. And at the truck stops, well, you had them at the tables when you were eating dinner. Like, I was more one of the guys who would like to sit in a booth by myself. If it wasn't too busy, I'd take up a booth. And that's where I would make all my phone calls. I would get my little address book with all the phone numbers of the people I knew. And then try and figure out who's at home this week. Stay in touch with people. You know, let's say I'm heading across Wyoming and want to see if so-and-so's home. AJ, you home? Rock Springs. Oh, you gonna be home this week? All right, I'll be coming through tomorrow. I'll call you when I get to what's the name of that truck stop? Green River or Rock Springs. Good Friday morning to ya. Just pulled into the gravel pit. Enjoying the view. I'm gonna dump out this load of mix. Get a load of gravel. Gonna clean my windows. Get all the bug splatters off of it. And continue on. It's gonna be a beautiful day. High of 85. And my air conditioner isn't working. It was working, they just put a new condenser in it when I was in Israel. I turned it on yesterday because it was 92. And all the Freon leaked out somewhere, so. At some point today, hopefully we're gonna look at it. If not, it'll be another day of windows down. Windows down, working on that driver's tan, come on. couple vent windows. Heck of a 90 degrees, baby. Taking it to 95. Western Star around. Looks like it came off the showroom every time I see it. License plate says backhoe. I love that truck, man. What year is that?
94.
Beautiful. Every time I see it, it turns my head.
Kind of neat, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you buy it new?
Yep. 94.
Wow. I like it. Nice looking International. Thinking about all day today. Back in the 90s. Everybody had 379 Pete's and they were company trucks and owner operators. Everybody had them. Either 379s or FLD 120 Freightliners that nobody looked at, or Internationals. Now all that stuff's retro. You see an old International, old FLD 120, like, whoa, check that out. I mean, someday are we going to be looking at Cascadians 20 years from now and going, whoa, check out that Cascadia. It's like this truck. This truck's, you know, standard W900. It looks decent. And there are much better looking trucks than this one, but 20 years from now, we'll be looking at pictures like, whoa, that truck's legendary. Wow. Oh my God, I think the heat's getting to me. I'll make our way through Waltham here, get back to the yard, get another one. Come on, four-wheelers, pick the right lane. I'm going right. There's a Volvo. 20 years from now, I'll be like, whoa, look at that Volvo. Polar beverages. Damn, nice. Sure wish we had trucks like that nowadays. That's what we'll be saying 20 years from now. Making headway. We were out to that edge there earlier. 2 trailers and a tri-axle today. We got a tri-axle on rental. It's making the difference. post that? That means post it. Climbing underneath the truck. Teddy, so what's the importance of greasing? And how often should people be greasing?
Well, as it says right here,
Oh.
notice grease latches weekly.
Oh, weekly.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that means this, the trailer pins, and you've got the 3 fittings here for the bar going across.
Yep.
Each gets a shot of grease. And I do that weekly. The tailgate, the piston on my truck, I do it weekly. Monthly, I do the slack adjusters, the S-cams, and all that. And when you do that, a lot easier if the brakes are released,
Right.
because the grease will spread out quicker more. There's no pressure on it.
So did you learn how to grease from your dad, or did you learn how to do it in the White's garage?
I learned, well, basically, when I was with my father, and on Saturdays I'd get down to Gringeri Brothers with him.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony and Joe Gringeri said, go with the mechanic and help him grease the trucks. And at the time, all the Macs, all the B models that they had, there could have been 40 grease fittings on them. The mechanic showed me every one of them and said, you grease it until grease comes out.
Okay.
Then you wipe it down so it doesn't get all over the place.
And you haven't changed since then?
I haven't changed since then.
The grease gun, I'm sure, is much nicer than the one you had back 50 years ago.
What we had was we had the air operated, we had the barrels,
Okay, you're right.
and the barrel I had was on a roller, and I had a 20-foot line on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I could basically set the barrel up in the middle of the truck,
Yep.
and I could get anywhere.
Okay.
You know, of course, these trailer dumps are a lot different from the cargo trailers because it was basically greasing underneath and the suspension and all that. Like I remember my 74 Ford F-250 had 47 grease fittings on it.
Really?
Yeah. And then when I got my newer pickup, I think it had 4.
But people don't grease their vehicles, though, these days.
No, they don't.
Do you grease your Ford Explorer?
There's nothing to grease on
Right.
it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What about on a new pickup truck, though?
It all depends. You might have one on the slip joint on the front drive shaft.
Right.
You
You'd
know?
think they would hit these at the where they get serviced. You would think. You would hope.
Well, that's like, I'm not saying too much, but the T800 was greased, but somebody greased one of the kingpins. There's a big glob of grease on top and nothing coming out the bottom.
So what's that tell you?
By rights, that fitting should have been taken off, cleaned out, new one put in, and if it didn't take grease again, jack up the front end. Some trucks, they require you to jack up the front ends to grease them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mac.
Yeah.
That says grease it with everything on the ground.
Okay.
All right? Technically, the correct way to do the front end, you're supposed to turn the wheel all the way to the right, give everything a shot of grease, all the way to the left, give it another shot of grease, put it in the middle, and give it another shot of grease. That's when I was working at Taylor and Lloyd. That's what they required on the Internationals. A lot of people don't do it. They just put it on, put the grease gun on, and shoot it. So,
And once a week, that's the way to do it, right?
well, I do the front end once a week and the trailer once a week. The front end because of the dusty conditions.
Yeah.
I consider that severe, you know?
Yeah, where we go, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty severe.
So, alright, let me get underneath this.
Alrighty.
That.
We're finishing up over here. I want to say thank you everybody who watched my video this week. I don't know what I said. What did I say this week? It couldn't have been very profound. Trying to button up. Nobody wants to see that. It's hot. It's like 92 out. Next week back in the 50s and rainy. Thank you very much. Hit that like button, share, all that stuff. Comment down below. And what do I got coming up? I have 5 videos I want to shoot. With 5 local people. 1 in Connecticut, 1 in Maine, 1 in New Hampshire, and a couple in Massachusetts. Just got to find the time. I thought I had the time tomorrow. In fact, I told my wife, I texted her, hey, turns out we're not working tomorrow. I'm going to try and set up a video shoot. She goes, oh, good. You can take ba-ba-ba to ba-ba-ba then, and I'm going to do this instead. And I'm like, oh, yeah, family's got to come first. But I'm working it. I'm working on it. Peace and grease. We'll catch you next week. Same time, same truck channel. The Boston Trucker. Of course. Like you didn't know. It's nice out. Thank you, God, for this beautiful day. And yesterday.